Hello, friends. Welcome to Old Coins News. If you love rare coins, valuable old money, and true coin history, this channel is for you. The United States of America half dollar dated 1977 is an important issue from the enduring Kennedy half dollar series, a series that began in 1964 and quickly became one of the most emotionally meaningful coin programs in American history. By the year 1977, the Kennedy half dollar had already spent more than a decade as part of U.S. circulating coinage, yet its role in everyday commerce had changed dramatically. While the coin remained legal tender and continued to be produced in large numbers, it was rarely seen in daily transactions. Americans in the late 1970s increasingly relied on smaller denominations, paper currency, and emerging electronic payment systems, causing the half dollar to shift from a commonly used coin to one that was more often stored, collected, or encountered mainly through banks. As a result, the 1977 half dollar occupies a unique place in U.S. numismatics, a modern coin rich in symbolism but limited in practical circulation. The obverse front of the 1977 Kennedy half dollar features the iconic left-facing portrait of President John Fitzgerald Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts, who served as chief engraver of the United States Mint when the design was first created. Kennedy's image on the half dollar is admired for its realism and dignity, portraying him as youthful, calm, and resolute. The inscription Liberty curves across the upper rim of the coin, representing one of the most fundamental ideals of the United States and a principle deeply embedded in the nation's identity. To the left of Kennedy's profile appears the national motto, "In God We Trust," a phrase that reflects the moral and spiritual values formally recognized by the country and widely used on American coinage. Beneath the portrait, the date 1977 clearly marks a year of issue, linking the coin to a period in U.S. history characterized by economic challenges, cultural change, and a renewed focus on national confidence following the turbulence of the early 1970s. The reverse back of the 1977 half dollar displays a powerful and instantly recognizable presidential seal, designed by Frank Gasparro, who later became chief engraver of the United States Mint. At the center of the design is the American bald eagle with wings fully spread, symbolizing strength, vigilance, and national authority. In one talon, the eagle grasps an olive branch, representing peace and diplomacy, while in the other it holds a bundle of arrows, symbolizing the nation's readiness to defend itself when necessary. A shield covers the eagle's chest, signifying unity and protection, while a circle of stars surrounding the eagle represents the states of the Union. Above the eagle appears the Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, a phrase that expresses the idea of unity formed from individual states and diverse peoples. Encircling the design are the inscriptions United States of America and half dollar, clearly identifying the issuing nation and the coin's denomination. In terms of minting, 1977 Kennedy half dollars were produced at multiple U.S. mint facilities, primarily the Philadelphia Mint, traditionally without a mint mark during much of this era, and the Denver Mint, which used the D mint mark. Both mints struck large quantities of half dollars to maintain Federal reserves and meet collector demand, even though public circulation was limited. No regular circulation proof coins were struck for general use. Proof versions were produced separately for collectors, typically at the San Francisco Mint. The absence or presence of a mint mark helps collectors distinguish between different issues from the same year, making the 1977 half dollar an important part of date-end mint collections. The composition of the 1977 Kennedy half dollar reflects the post-silver era of U.S. coinage. The coin is made of copper-nickel-clad metal, consisting of outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This composition had been standard for circulating half dollars since 1971, following the complete removal of silver from the denomination. Earlier Kennedy half dollars from 1964 were struck in 90% silver, and those from 1965 to 1970 contained 40% silver, making the 1977 issue part of the modern, non-precious metal phase of the series. The coin has a diameter of 30.61 millimeters, a weight of 11.34 grams, and a reeded edge, all consistent with Kennedy half dollar specifications. The mintage figures for the 1977 Kennedy half dollar were high, with tens of millions of coins struck across the two main mints. Despite these large numbers, a significant portion of the mintage never entered active circulation. Many coins were held in bank vaults, saved in rolls, or purchased directly by collectors. This explains why uncirculated examples of the 1977 half dollar are still relatively easy to find today, particularly in mint state condition. However, coins with exceptionally strong luster, clean surfaces, and minimal contact marks become increasingly scarce at higher grading levels. From a collector's perspective, the 1977 Kennedy half dollar is valued primarily based on condition rather than rarity. Circulated examples generally trade close to face value, while uncirculated coins graded MS64 to MS66 by professional grading services can command modest premiums. Coins graded MS67 or higher are considerably scarcer and more desirable. Collectors also search for mint errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, clip planches, and unusual die cracks, as these varieties can dramatically increase a coin's value if authenticated. Historically, the 1977 Kennedy half dollar represents a mature stage of the Kennedy series, a time when the coin had fully transitioned from a widely used circulating denomination into a symbolic and collectible object. It reflects a continued respect for President Kennedy more than a decade after his death and demonstrates how American coinage can serve as both currency and commemoration. The presence of enduring national inscriptions like Liberty, In God We Trust, and E Pluribus Unum reinforces a coin's role as a small but powerful expression of American identity, unity, and values. In conclusion, the United States of America half dollar, 1977, E Pluribus Unum, Liberty, In God We Trust is a significant modern U.S. coin that blends historical symbolism, iconic design, and numismatic continuity. Although it contains no silver and is not rare by mintage alone, its place within the Kennedy half dollar series and its connection to a transformative era in American history give it lasting importance. Whether used as a foundation for a 30-minute YouTube documentary preserved in a coin collection or studied as part of U.S. monetary history, the 1977 Kennedy half dollar remains a respected and meaningful piece of American coin. The 1994 P. Kennedy half dollar is a coin rich in both modern numismatic value and American historical symbolism. It stands as a proud continuation of the series that began in 1964, honoring one of the most beloved U.S. presidents, John F. Kennedy, whose life and tragic assassination in 1963 deeply affected the nation. The P mint mark on this coin signifies that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the principal mints of the United States. Though primarily produced for circulation, this coin embodies artistic precision, political history, and a reflection of changing U.S. coinage standards in the late 20th century. The obverse front of the 1994 P half dollar features a left-facing portrait of President John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint at the time the series began. Kennedy's portrait captures both youth and dignity, symbolizing his forward-thinking leadership and enduring legacy. Above his head is the inscription Liberty, spanning the upper rim of the coin, representing the freedom and democratic ideals central to the American identity. Beneath Kennedy's neckline, the national motto In God We Trust appears, reaffirming the country's faith-based heritage and moral foundations. The year 1994 is placed at the bottom, marking its mintage year, while the mint mark P for Philadelphia is located just below Kennedy's neck truncation. The reverse back of the coin, designed by Frank Gasparro, depicts a presidential seal of the United States, a powerful emblem of authority and national pride. At its center is a heraldic eagle, with a shield covering its chest, a symbol of national defense and unity. The eagle clutches an olive branch in its right talon, signifying peace, and a bundle of 13 arrows in its left talon, representing the nation's readiness to defend its liberty. Above the eagle's head are 13 stars arranged in a semicircle, honoring the original 13 colonies. The eagle's beak holds a ribbon inscribed with the Latin phrase E Pluribus Unum, meaning out of many, one, a motto emphasizing the unity of a diverse people forming one nation. Encircling the entire design are the inscriptions United States of America and half dollar. The intricate detailing of the feathers, arrows, and stars reflects the craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint during this era. In terms of composition, the 1994 P. Kennedy half dollar was made from a copper-nickel-clad alloy, featuring an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This metallic blend gave the coin its distinct silvery appearance and long-lasting durability. The coin has a diameter of 30.6 millimeters, a thickness of 2.15 millimeters, and a weight of 11.34 grams. Its reeded edge is both aesthetic and functional, designed to deter coin clipping or shaving, a practice that was more common in earlier centuries. By 1994, the half-dollar was not widely used in daily circulation, as paper currency in smaller denominations had become more popular for transactions. However, the U.S. Mint continued producing them for collectors and limited circulation demand. The mintage for the 1994 half-dollar was approximately 23,718,000 coins, making it relatively common among modern half-dollars but still sought after in high-grade condition. Circulated examples are typically worth their face value, but uncirculated or proof-like specimens can attract collector interest. In pristine mint state, MS65 or higher, condition, these coins can hold a modest premium, especially those with bright luster, clean fields, and minimal contact marks. Proof versions, produced at the San Francisco Mint, bearing an S Mint mark, were struck with specially polished dies to achieve a mirror-like finish, distinct from the Philadelphia circulation strikes. Historically, the Kennedy half-dollar series represents more than just currency. It is a symbol of remembrance and national unity. Following Kennedy's assassination, the design was approved and minted in record time, a testament to the nation's admiration for its fallen leader. The 1994 issue continued that legacy 3 decades later, serving as both a circulating coin and a piece of numismatic history. Collectors often appreciate this coin as part of a larger narrative of American progress, political memory, and evolving mint technology. Another fascinating aspect is the evolution of the series through the decades. By the 1990s, Kennedy half-dollars had transitioned from everyday money to collector's items, much like the earlier Morgan and P. silver dollars. While the silver composition had long been discontinued, ending with a 1970D issue for general circulation, the coin's design remained largely unchanged, preserving the dignity of the original 1964 concept. The 1994 P issue thus represents the perseverance of traditional American artistry in an age of modernization. Today, the 1994 P Kennedy half-dollar holds both sentimental and historical value. It serves as a tangible link between the mid-20th century ideals of hope and unity and the contemporary era of American coinage. While its monetary worth may not be high, its significance as a tribute to a president who inspired generations ensures a continued place in the hearts of collectors. For those assembling a complete Kennedy half-dollar set, the 1994 P is a key piece of the modern chapter, a gleaming emblem of American spirit, innovation, and remembrance. Welcome to my channel Value Old Coins Today videos. As one you won't miss, we're diving into the world of coins, so let's get it started. The 1973 D Kennedy half-dollar is one of the most historically meaningful and visually striking coins in the modern series of American coinage. Minted at the Denver Mint, this coin carries a D mint mark just below President John F. Kennedy's neck on the obverse side. Though not made of silver, the 1973 D half-dollar is an enduring symbol of a nation's respect for its fallen leader and a reflection of the numismatic evolution of the United States in the 1970s. Every element of its design, from the bold inscriptions to the powerful eagle on the reverse, tells a story about American ideals, craftsmanship, and the enduring memory of President Kennedy's legacy. The obverse front of the 1973 D half-dollar features a left-facing bust of President John F. Kennedy, sculpted by Gilroy Roberts, who served as chief engraver of the U.S. Mint when the series was first introduced in 1964. The portrait captures Kennedy's dignified presence, his sharp features, youthful confidence, and resolute expression representing the nation's forward-looking spirit during his presidency. The word liberty is prominently inscribed along the upper edge of the coin, signifying one of America's most sacred principles. Beneath Kennedy's chin, in two parts, is a national motto, "In God We Trust," a phrase deeply rooted in the country's moral and cultural identity. The year 1973 is engraved along the lower rim, indicating the coin's mintage year. Just above the date, near Kennedy's neckline, lies the mint mark D, which identifies this coin as having been struck at the Denver Mint in Colorado, a facility known for producing large quantities of circulation coins with a reputation for high-quality striking during this period. The reverse back of the 1973 D half dollar was designed by Frank Gasparro, another legendary figure in U.S. coin design, who also created the Lincoln Memorial reverse for the penny. His work on the Kennedy half dollar features the presidential seal of the United States, a design steeped in patriotic symbolism and artistic detail. At the center of the reverse stands a heraldic eagle, wings outstretched in strength and vigilance. The eagle's breast is shielded by a striped escutcheon, representing national defense and unity under one flag. In its right talon, the eagle clutches an olive branch, symbolizing peace. In its left, it holds 13 arrows, representing readiness to defend liberty and the original 13 colonies that formed the nation. Above the eagle's head floats a circle of 13 stars, signifying those same colonies, surrounded by radiating rays. The Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, is inscribed on a ribbon held in the eagle's beak, symbolizing the unity of the American people. Encircling the entire design are the inscriptions United States of America and half dollar, both struck boldly around the rim, emphasizing national identity and denomination. The composition of the 1973 D Kennedy half dollar reflects the era's transition from precious metal to practicality. Following the removal of silver from circulating coinage in 1971, the U.S. Mint began striking half dollars using a copper-nickel-clad composition, a durable alloy made of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a core of pure copper. This combination gives a coin its silvery appearance and high resistance to wear, ensuring longevity in circulation. The coin has a diameter of 30.6 millimeters, a thickness of 2.15 millimeters, and weighs 11.34 grams. Its reeded edge, a series of fine grooves, serves both an aesthetic purpose and a practical one, helping to prevent coin shaving and counterfeiting. The 1973 D Kennedy half dollar holds a special place in the series because it was not released for general circulation. In 1973, both the Philadelphia and Denver Mints produced half dollars exclusively for mint sets, collector packages distributed directly by the U.S. Mint. As a result, most 1973 D half dollars entered collections in pristine condition and were not found in daily commerce. The total mintage from the Denver Mint was approximately 83,171,400 coins, a significant number, but still more restricted compared to earlier circulation issues. Because of this limited release, circulated examples are uncommon and typically came from broken mint sets or later circulation released through secondary markets. When examining the coin's value, it depends largely on its condition, luster, and preservation. Circulated 1973 D half dollars are usually worth their face value, but uncirculated, mint state, examples hold a premium among collectors. Coins graded MS65 or higher by professional grading services can fetch several dollars, with exceptionally well-struck examples sometimes selling for more. Although these coins lack intrinsic silver value, their numismatic importance stems from their limited release and connection to the enduring Kennedy legacy. The 1973 S-Proof version, struck at the San Francisco Mint, was made with a mirror-like finish and frosted details, further enhancing collector appeal. From a historical perspective, the 1973 D half dollar marks a pivotal point in the story of American coinage. It represents the early years of fully clad coin production after the silver era ended, demonstrating how the mint adapted to changing economic and industrial realities while maintaining design continuity. The Kennedy half dollar itself has remained one of the most beloved U.S. coins, a direct reflection of the public's enduring affection for President Kennedy, whose leadership and tragic death left an indelible mark on American history. The coin's continued production serves as a living memorial, a way for generations to honor his legacy through a tangible piece of national art. The design continuity of the Kennedy half dollar also speaks volumes about its cultural power. While other denominations underwent redesigns over time, the Kennedy portrait and heraldic eagle have remained virtually unchanged since 1964, signifying both respect and timelessness. Even as the half dollar's role in circulation diminished, largely replaced by smaller denominations and electronic transactions, it persisted as a collectible and commemorative piece. The 1973 D issue embodies this shift, minted not for daily commerce, but for those who wish to preserve a piece of American heritage. Today, the 1973 D Kennedy half dollar is cherished by collectors not for its rarity or silver content, but for its historical and emotional weight. It stands as a physical link between past and present, a coin that reflects America's post-silver era, the resilience of its minting traditions, and the enduring admiration for one of its most charismatic presidents. Whether displayed in a coin album, preserved in protective holder, or examined under magnification for die varieties, the 1973 D half dollar tells a story that transcends metal and minting. It speaks of memory, unity, and national pride. The United States of America half dollar dated 1985 with a PE mint mark is a notable issue from the long-running and iconic Kennedy half dollar series, a series that has remained in continuous production since 1964 and stands as one of the most emotionally significant coin programs in U.S. history. By 1985, the Kennedy half dollar had been in existence for more than 2 decades, and although it was still officially a circulating coin, it had largely disappeared from everyday use. Most Americans rarely encountered half dollars in daily transactions during the 1980s, as vending machines, cash registers, and consumer habits favored smaller denominations. As a result, the 1985 P half dollar was primarily distributed through banks, government reserves, and collector channels, giving it a unique position as a coin that was legal tender yet seldom seen in circulation. The obverse front of the 1985 P Kennedy half dollar features the left-facing portrait of President John Fitzgerald Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts, who served as chief engraver of the United States Mint when the design was first introduced. Kennedy's image on the half dollar is both dignified and realistic, capturing his youthful appearance and calm expression. The inscription Liberty curves prominently along the top edge of the coin, symbolizing one of the most fundamental principles of the American nation. To the left of Kennedy's profile appears a national motto, "In God We Trust," a phrase that reflects the spiritual and moral values officially recognized by the United States. Beneath the portrait, the date 1985 is clearly displayed, anchoring the coin to a period in American history marked by economic recovery, technological growth, and global political change during the later years of the Cold War. Just below the date on the obverse is a P mint mark, indicating that this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The Philadelphia Mint, founded in 1792, is the oldest mint in the United States and has played a central role in American coin production for more than 2 centuries. By the 1980s, Philadelphia was producing large quantities of circulating coinage, including half dollars, primarily for storage, banking distribution, and collector demand. The presence of the P mint mark helps collectors distinguish this coin from those struck at the Denver Mint, D, and from proof coins produced at the San Francisco Mint, S. The reverse back of the 1985 P Kennedy half dollar features a presidential seal, a powerful national emblem designed by Frank Gasparro, who later became chief engraver of the United States Mint. At the center of the design is the American bald eagle with wings spread wide, representing strength, vigilance, and national authority. The eagle holds an olive branch in one talon, symbolizing peace, and a bundle of arrows in the other, symbolizing readiness to defend the nation. A shield placed on the eagle's chest signifies unity and protection, while a circle of stars surrounding the eagle represents the states of the Union. Above the eagle appears the inscription United States of America, and below it the denomination half dollar. Above the eagle's head is a Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, a phrase that expresses the idea of unity formed from individual states and people. In terms of composition, the 1985 P Kennedy half dollar is made of copper-nickel clad metal, the standard material used for circulating half dollars since 1971. The coin consists of outer layers composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. Unlike earlier Kennedy half dollars from 1964, which were struck in 90% silver, and those from 1965 to 1970, which contained 40% silver, the 1985p half dollar contains no silver content. Despite the absence of precious metal, the coin remains important to collectors as part of the modern Kennedy series. The coin has a diameter of 30.61 millimeters, a weight of 11.34 grams, and a reeded edge, all of which are standard specifications for Kennedy half dollars of this era. The mintage of the 1985p Kennedy half dollar was substantial, with tens of millions of coins produced, reflecting the U.S. Mint's policy of maintaining sufficient supplies of half dollars even though public demand was limited. Many of these coins were never released into active circulation, and instead remained in government storage or were sold in rolls and bagged to collectors. Because of this, uncirculated examples are relatively common today, though coins with exceptionally strong luster, clean surfaces, and sharp details become scarcer at higher grade levels. From a collector's point of view, the 1985p Kennedy half dollar is valued mainly based on condition rather than rarity. Circulated examples are generally worth close to their face value, while uncirculated coins graded MS-64 to MS-66 by professional grading services can command modest premiums. Coins graded at even higher levels, such as MS-67, are significantly scarcer and more desirable. Collectors also examine these coins for mint errors, including double dies, off-center strikes, clip planchets, or unusual die cracks, any of which can greatly increase a coin's value if properly authenticated. Historically, the 1985p Kennedy half dollar represents a mature phase of the Kennedy series, a time when the coin had evolved from a widely used circulating denomination into a symbolic and collectible piece of American coinage. It reflects a continued respect for President Kennedy's legacy more than 20 years after his death and demonstrates how American coin designs can serve both practical and commemorative purposes. For many collectors, the Kennedy half dollar is not simply money, but a tangible connection to American history, leadership, and national ideals. In conclusion, the United States of America half dollar, 1985p, E pluribus unum, Liberty, in God we trust, is a significant modern U.S. coin that combines iconic design, historical symbolism, and numismatic continuity. While it contains no silver and is not rare in terms of mintage, its connection to President John F. Kennedy, its enduring national symbols, and its place within the long-running Kennedy half dollar series make it an essential coin for collectors and educators alike. Whether used as a foundation of a detailed YouTube documentary, preserved in a coin album, or studied as part of American monetary history, the 1985p Kennedy half dollar remains a respected and meaningful piece of United States coinage.